Yeah, so usually Denmark tops the different happiness rankings, the World Happiness Report, the European Social Survey. All of those rankings, is important to say that they are usually based on life satisfaction, overall happiness. Imagine the worst possible life you could lead, the best possible life you could lead. Where do you feel you stand right now? In the World Happiness Report, it's data from Gallup that feeds into that, around 3,000 people from each country over 3 years. And then they calculate an average. And that's important to underline. These rankings are based on averages. So of course there are unhappy people in Denmark, and of course there are happy people in the countries that are ranked at the bottom of the list. We are looking at averages. That's important to say. So you could actually also turn it around and say, Denmark is the happiest country in the world or the least unhappy. That's up to you. But I think it's also fair to say that Denmark is not the only superpower when it comes to happiness. All the Nordic countries, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, always do well in the World Happiness Report and similar rankings. Switzerland, Canada, New Zealand, the Netherlands, did I mention that twice? But yeah, so they also do well. They're usually the countries that compete in the top 10. In the bottom of the World Happiness Report, you find, unsurprisingly, countries that are struggling with poverty and war, political unrest. In the later years, we've seen, obviously, Syria have really low levels of, high levels of unhappiness and misery, obviously. Central African Republic, Burundi, Afghanistan. So that's sort of the spectrum. Our interest is understanding when we look at the entire spectrum of countries. So when we look at 155 countries, which are included in the World Happiness Report, responses from around 500,000 people across the world, what are the drivers of happiness and well-being? If we look at sort of the political frameworks, the countries, what are the common denominators? What are the drivers of well-being? Why do some countries rank in the top of the list, and why do some countries rank at the bottom? And those 6 drivers we can see explain the majority of the differences between the countries are some of the drivers we'll explore in this course and sort of unfold in the chapters to come.